Hey, what's good, Mzansi? Thanks so much again for joining us in a moment in tech with V. And I've got an awesome guest today, one of my boys. Very cool to have him on, and quite senior. So I'm quite excited to see what kind of advice he has for us. But before we get into the good stuff, guys, some quick house rules. This is a pure professional platform and an educational platform for those in need to kind of get some clarity on what's going on in the tech space. And what a better space to share today with MJ. What's good, bro?
All good, and you?
Good. Where in South Africa are you sitting?
I'm currently in Midrand.
In Midrand, in Johannesburg. How's the weather? Because, geez, in Cape Town, it's just raining. Jeez.
Nice and sunny today.
I'm so upset. Maybe I should move back. I'll figure it out.
You moved?
I've moved, bro. I've moved. I'm in Cape Town.
I thought you were visiting.
No. I'm here for a while. So
Oh,
yeah, dude. So guys, MJ's a mobile iOS engineer, so let's respect the iOS. Um, and there's only like 3 of them in the country, so I'm quite excited to chat to him today. So before we get into the more technical stuff, MJ, let's start off with the icebreaker. How you feel about that?
Depends on what the icebreaker is.
Okay, let's say we're at a corporate function and somebody wants to buy you an alcoholic beverage. What's your alcohol beverage of choice?
Um, it's gonna have to be some craft beer.
Oh, swank. Okay, guys. So if you see this face out on the streets, get him a nice cold craft beer, and maybe you can get some cool advice for him. All right, let's jump into it. So you've been in the mobile, specifically in the iOS space for a hell of a long time. I mean, how did you get into the space? If you can share.
So basically, when I started out as an intern at Kijima, and
Nice.
basically we had a choice to choose between Android and iOS. So
Okay.
I tried out both technologies, realized that I enjoyed iOS a bit more,
Nice.
but then I just stuck with iOS and ran with it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So for the unemployed youth out there and who doesn't have kind of the idea of what's going on, I mean, what are the top 3 tools or things that you'd say, this is what I did to kind of fall in love into the iOS space, or this is how I kind of upskilled in the iOS space? Is there anything or any advice that you can give to somebody who's just sitting at home and they're just trying to figure it out?
Um, should have given me a list of your questions, eh?
Eh,
Essentially,
off the dome. This is off the dome, dude. You've been doing this.
yeah. Obviously now Swift. So Swift is the more prominent language that we're using in the iOS space. There's also a lot of things going on with Swift UI. So
Oh,
they're basically moving from the normal storyboards setup, the
nice.
zip files, jumping more into the Swift UI. I'm
Okay.
still actually upskilling with Swift UI. It seems quite powerful,
Yeah.
and it does nice binding between UI and what you call UI and business logic. So it does from what I've seen
Yeah.
almost what Microsoft was doing with what was that technology? I forgot about what it is, but it's essentially you've got a bit more control over what's on the storyboard or what's on the
Nice.
UI and linking it with what's on on the code side. So yeah, I would recommend someone definitely jump into your Swift UI.
Nice.
Definitely going to Swift. There's some companies would want you to be proficient in Objective-C, but I'm hardly seeing that now going forward.
Is it?
So,
Wow.
yeah, so you can actually just start from Swift as a basis and move with it, essentially. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Thanks for sharing. If you had to change your career today, I mean, would you move out of iOS development or would you move into something different?
I would like to see how I would marry iOS development and machine learning, but I
Wow.
think more a case of just moving out of the space entirely. So apart from the financial point of view,
Yeah.
I've got a huge interest in data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all of that stuff. So I do actually have a Udemy course that I've been going through
Nice.
with regards to what is it? More the data science
Yeah.
and yeah,
The data
lecture.
camps, those kind of nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I read an article somewhere which actually showed the top 10 let's call it jobs that will be required in the future.
Yeah.
Um, let's say the future is in 2050. Let's say then,
That's
yeah.
fair.
And
Okay.
data science was actually very high on the list
Okay.
because
Wow.
that's the space we're moving towards anyway. So I'm like, obviously, from luckily for me, it's also an interest, but
Yes.
also from a job protection point of view, it's
Yes.
best to focus to yourself towards that. Yeah.
That is awesome. So, guys, you see, as senior as MJ is, he's still reading up on stuff. He's still upskilling himself. So, try and immerse yourself as much as possible in the space. Maybe try find the interests that you like, and maybe try and tie it with the kind of career or the job that you're looking to get into. Is what
Absolutely.
I'm kind of gathering from you. And let's just dial it back a little bit. Like back in the days, did you know that you were going to get into the software engineering space, or it's something you kind of fell into?
So I've always had a thing. So I've always been good with computers. Growing up, I'd break them apart, and then try figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
So that's what I did with my dad's computer back in the day.
nice.
Luckily, because computers are quite modular, it's not that easy to break something unless you start going to the circuitry and all of that. But
Yeah,
most parts can come out and go back in without problems. And then I learned how you can upgrade your RAM. I learned how you can upgrade your
nice.
storage. When we were still using the master and slave configurations.
Yeah,
We moved to SATA,
yeah, yeah.
but essentially, I've always had a like for computers. My computer science mark in high school was also quite high. It was probably
Nice.
my highest mark.
Yes.
So I've always known that I had that, but I've also been a very creative person. So I was or rather artistic person. So I used to
Nice.
do art.
Okay.
Drawing. My art marks as well, primary, high school, although I didn't do much art in high school, but primary were also quite high.
Nice.
It was a gift, and my drawing was great and all of that. So essentially, I was like, graphic design is the space I
The next thing, yeah.
computers
Yeah.
and
Meets
the
art.
creative side.
Yeah.
So I did graphic design for a while. I studied graphic design at the Open Window.
Wow.
Yeah, although I never completed my qualification, I think I was left with a few modules.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then I started practicing. I started practicing graphic design as a desktop publisher,
yeah.
and yeah, and then I didn't like the job. I didn't like how I was treated there. It was a small company in Midbank. Not
Okay.
gonna
In
names.
Witbank, even.
I'm not gonna mention names, but yeah, I didn't like the treatment there. I was essentially the only black guy in the company, not the black, well, in the graphic design space, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Uh, the other people were like white ladies, so we had a lot of clashes and all of that. So I decided, no, let me leave.
Yes.
When I didn't have anything in the pipeline, so I just left, and I
Oh,
was like, it's fine, I'll just stay at home. I
wow.
cannot be tormented like that.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, while waiting at home, or rather while busy looking for other graphic design related jobs, and then
Yeah.
I got the learnership with Kijima.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's where I jumped into IT, but it wasn't a thing I did because I was doing nothing else.
Yeah.
I was simply looking to get into
That space.
IT. Yes, 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 yes. So when I got the learnership, I just grabbed it with both hands, and yeah, the rest would essentially be history.
History. Nice. So, I mean, you see, this is a walk and talking story that it's not about the degree to kind of get into this space. It's about grabbing the opportunity, whatever opportunity, and maybe manifested to be specifically what you're looking for. And
Yes.
yeah, MJ obviously is the one who's he's lived it, and today he's got the monies in the iOS space, so he's good. And just before we let you go, hobbies. What are your hobbies?
I love hiking.
Oh, nice.
Gym. I don't know if you can see my body, but it's a bit off. Um, but I need to. I've been trying to get back to gym. It's a bit difficult. But I love gymming, so I love keeping fit. Love cars. Car events. I'm there.
Nice.
What else do I like? Okay, I enjoy. I wouldn't call it a hobby, but I enjoy playing with my kids as well. Like
Oh,
that.
look at the dad. Look at the
Yeah.
dad. And for all dads out there, we shout you
Oh,
out. We shout you
that's
out.
only known.
So guys, senior iOS engineer, you catch him out on a car show, or maybe catch him at the gym, maybe ask him a few questions. But again, just as he said, just immerse yourself, make sure that you continuously kind of moving through,
Yeah.
and once you have that opportunity, make sure you make the best out of it. And if you have any advice for the unemployed youth, just in general, what would you say? Do you have anything to maybe share some love out for the guys?
So there's a guy that I follow, especially for people who want to go into the iOS space, on YouTube. It's called iOS Academy. What I like about that guy is he really goes into detail. He's and also he breaks it down very very nicely. So there's been a few times, even in my space where I am right now, where I was stuck,
Mm,
and you go onto YouTube, you try to find a solution. Sometimes it's not a matter of stuck, it's a matter of trying to find the best way to implement it, right?
yeah,
So yeah, I jump onto his videos and I get some insights and the best ways of doing things. So I'm all about the best practices.
nice.
Sometimes in the programming space, you can do things like this or you can do it like that. It will
Yeah,
work. One of them would be the better one, or the better approach over the other. So I usually would, especially if it's something I'm not familiar with, try to find the better approach, the best
yeah.
approach. And yeah, he's one of the best guys,
Oh,
from what I've seen on YouTube. iOS Academy. Advice would be, not everything for most people was handed, on a silver platter.
yeah,
Uh, the best way to make it work or to break through is to, and I know it sounds corny, but you really honestly do need to never give up. If
yeah.
you give up, that's when you never know what might happen.
Hundreds.
I'm speaking from my own personal experience. I'm speaking from my siblings' experience, from friends' experience. If things are not given to you on a silver platter, you really do need to work towards getting it. Push as hard as you can, and I believe you will get breakthrough.
Boom. And guys, that's MJ. And thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing your insights, bro. Let's change one life at a time.
That's
Have a good
best.
day.
Sure,
Cheers.
thanks.
Thanks, man. Bye.